Right, we're now live. So, number one on the agenda is swearing in of Councilmember Curtis Ling.
Am I in the way?
Matt, if you could move that chair one way or the
Move
other.
this chair out of the way? Sure. All right, pose for the camera.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
One more. Perfect. Thank
Good?
you.
All right. So I, Curtis Ling,
I, Curtis Ling,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and the Charter of the City of Arlington,
and the Charter of the City of Arlington,
and to discharge faithfully
and to discharge faithfully
the duties devolving upon me
the duties devolving upon me
as a council member of the City of Arlington
as a council member of the City of Arlington
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Yep.
Mine's sitting over there, so.
It's okay.
You keep this one?
Yep, you keep this one and you keep that one.
All right.
There's no donuts or cookies here.
I know.
All right, welcome everyone. This is the January 17th regular council meeting, and Mayor Matt Sharkey to my left is interim city administrator Sharkey Schulte. Please call me in order. Please stand join me in the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilmember Lifton.
Yeah, here.
Councilmember Thomas.
Here.
Councilmember Meyer.
Here.
And Councilmember Ling.
Here.
If Councilmember Matz is not here, he's on vacation, so 4 council members present, 1 absent. Item 4, approving the agenda. Is there any additions to the agenda besides the ones that were made today? Okay, can I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Motion made by Councilmember Lifton, second by Councilmember Meyer. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Opposed? Motion passed. Item 5, is there anyone here that would like to address the council? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on. Item 6, approval of the consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda consists of the following. Item A, approval of the bills. Item B, January 3rd, 2022 City Council meeting minutes. November 14th, 2022 EDA meeting minutes. December 12th, 2022 EDA minutes. December 1st, 2022 Planning and Zoning minutes. Appointment of Abdo as City Auditor. And approve the hiring of Michael Tortson, is that right? As a part-time paramedic for the Arlington Ambulance.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this Abdo always been our, thank you.
I have
Yeah.
one correction, January 3rd should be
Yeah.
2023 minutes.
Oh, January 3rd?
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank
Just a typo.
you.
It's early in the year yet.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
For a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Councilmember Myers, second by Councilmember Ling. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 7, Attorney Kenneth Jensen cannot be with us tonight, but he is available by phone if we need him.
He came down ill.
So,
It's going around.
Yes.
Yes.
he's gonna be here.
but he is able to, I can call him and put him on speaker if we need him for a couple items. So let's move on to item 8, December library report. Director Andy Kelton.
We'll be out of here by 7, huh?
Welcome.
Thank you. December felt like a short month. We had the holidays, we had all that horrible weather, so we were closed 2 days, I think, out of that. Our biggest December thing was we always hold the quilt show during Arlington. We had about 25 quilts this year. We're usually open 9 to 12 that day. For Arlington, we stay open until after the parade. We had about 10 people in, I would say, every hour. So to look at the quilts and mainly to use the bathroom. Or just to stay warm.
Warm up, yeah.
Yep. So that was good. My first experience with Arla Dazzle, I thought it was awesome. So St. Paul's is still coming over. Transition to the city and fully under city control now as of December 10th. We had about 1,100 items checked out in December, about 1,300 people in the door. So if you add up, I started tracking people in July, so that's about half the year. If you take it times 2, you see about 15,000 people coming in those doors at the library a year. So that's really
That's
good.
pretty good.
And about 15,000 items went out last year. So it's about a one-on-one comparison. So that's about all I got. We're doing a bunch of training this month for our new migrations, for our new software. So my staff is really excited. Sarcasm. But yeah, that's all I got. So if you have any questions?
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, December Police Department report.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So overall, since I started in August, we've kind of rebounded and had a pretty productive second half of the year. We only came 10 calls short of what we were last year. So we really caught up at the end of the year. And Brandon's been really productive. Last week found a stolen vehicle in town here. So he's out running plates and he's finding stuff. So I think we got a good one there. So in the packet, you saw all the call information. If you have any questions on anything call related? No? Okay, excellent. Moving on to the Morris Electronics contract. Unfortunately, it's a necessary evil to have IT for a police department. We cannot have our server go down. We cannot have our squad cars go down with technology nowadays. They monitor our system 24 hours a day. Last week when the internet in town went down, they were notified and they contact us immediately to find out what's wrong with our system. So they're on top of it all the time. And this is basically a renewal of what we had last year with them. The price did not go up at all. So I know we like to hear that.
Yes, we do.
So I'm asking that we approve that, the contract with Morris Electronics tonight as well.
And authorize the police chief to sign the contract. That's who's on this one. Thank you, chief.
And then
Motion.
Somebody wanna make a motion? for
I'll
that?
make a motion to approve the contract with Morris Electronics and having the chief sign off on it.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Thomas, second by Councilmember Meyer for the approval of the contract with Morris Electronics, and they have a police chief sign off. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
The last thing I have is, I've created a policy manual for the department. With losing the server last year, we lost a lot of that kind of information. So I needed to recreate action on what to do. So, with that being said, there's yearly updates that need to be done with that, state, federal updates. So basically every year in January, I'm gonna come to you with all those updates and just ask for your approval to publish that. So I'm asking that we approve the police policy handbook tonight. If there are any questions on it, you can let me know, or you can,
Did we get that or?
it was, I don't know, was that included in the
No.
packet? I don't
That
think
one got
so.
missed.
It's
No.
700 and some pages.
Oh.
I don't know that you want to review that.
I'm sure it's good.
Now that you said.
I'm sure it's good. I'll make a motion to approve the policy.
I'll second it.
I spared you from it.
Thank you.
Please don't print it.
All right. So who made the motion?
Meyer, I second.
Okay, motion made by Councilmember Meyer, second by Councilmember Thomas to approve the police policy here. But all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Any other questions for me tonight? Okay.
When we're, I think I asked you this, maybe at the interviews, but when do we expect the police cars to be delivered?
They should be here in February fully. One will come before the other one.
Right.
Hopefully end of February is kind of the slated time frame.
Okay.
They're in production right now.
Great.
So whenever they come from Ford, they go directly to Guardian for building. And the turnaround there is pretty quick.
Okay.
So it's not like an ambulance.
I'm still jealous.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, December Fire Department report. Chief Mockatoon.
Evening, Mr. Mayor, Administrator, Council. So I started getting together with my training officers so we could get training set up for the department pretty much for the full year. Seems to work out pretty good. Guys kind of know what's going on and whatnot. Our training set up for the end of the month is we do a right to know class. It's kind of bloodborne and whatever, stuff like that. So got that coming up. Going through our stock of gloves for some of the new people we put on there. Kind of running out. We're having to piece something together. So I'm filling out a grant and we got some money coming from another place. Get some new gloves bought. At our Sibley County Fire Chiefs meeting we had last Thursday, we bought a fit test machine. We're gonna share between all the departments in Sibley County. I should save quite a bit of money throughout the year. Every year we gotta get fit tested for our air masks. So once we get our fittings we need, we can start using it. Department responded to 76 calls the last fiscal year. So just kind of going through and getting that stuff set up so we can submit it to Shirley. So that's about all I got, I guess. So anybody have any questions?
You gotta do any training for that fit testing?
According to the guys we got it from, they said you just gotta have, it's all basically right on the screen.
Mhm.
So they said as long as you follow the screen, you should be fine. So
Yeah.
they had it at the meeting the other night and it's fairly easy to follow all the way it works and everything. So
Cool.
but,
Thanks, Doug.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, December Public Works report. Kirby Whitworth.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome, new faces. Look forward to working with you guys. So I'll, I guess, kind of try to cut to the chase here.
Sure, there are a couple of things that are listed on your agenda. First is the hiring, either the approval or hiring of that PEG
Oh,
outlaw for
sure.
snow removal services. I
Yes.
think that you have that in your packet, do you?
Let's see.
So we'll just need a motion to add her. Has she worked at all with you, Kirby?
Not yet,
Not yet, okay.
not yet, but
She's
she's
a
eager
local.
to, and I'm sure we'll get to it.
Yes, okay, she's a local snow hauler.
Oh, that's just adding another truck, basically?
Yeah,
Mhm.
the haulers we have this year, I mean, they're doing their job, but it's, they have pretty undersized trucks compared to what we're used to. And luckily, I've been able to kind of find a couple people with your usual like quad or twin axles, and this would be another one during those big snowfalls.
So it's just an addition of another truck?
Yeah, it's a big help if we could add
So
it on.
I'll make a motion to hiring Peg Dentlaw for snow removal services.
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion made by Councilmember Thomas, second by Councilmember Ling to approve the hiring of Peg Drentlaw for snow removal service. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So I guess my update entails snow. That's pretty much what we've been buried with, for lack of a better word, this winter, December. You guys may have heard, we posted it the night we broke down with our blower. It's a pretty major breakdown. I'm speculating, but I'm pretty sure a gearbox blew up on us essentially. And we had another drive shaft break. And that day it happened, I had actually ordered, I called up and ordered some parts for it for the impeller part that throws the snow. And on the phone, the tech told me, yeah, you gotta get those replaced or you could have a major breakdown. That's what I think happened to it. And he did give me I said, well, how much does something like that cost? When I was talking to him, he hinted around $20,000 to repair. We're also in a very long line of other cities before us who are in the same situation. So we were left after that big few day snow event we had to load it with a loader. Luckily, I had some help from another local contractor. It would have taken me till May with our little loader. So Austin Frownings, thanks to him, he pretty much saved us. So in the urgency of the situation, I got quotes for a new blower. I looked around for used. There's not a whole lot other than just old, junky used ones that would put us in a bad spot again.
Well, we got that.
Right. So I went ahead and reached out to
McQueen,
McQueen.
McQueen.
Yep, McQueen right away.
Mhm.
They had a couple on the lot. They said they've sold one since I got this quote, so they have 2 left apparently. They're going like hotcakes and they're hard to find. So this new one is really what we would need. Sounds like a good piece of machinery. And it came in at $202,965. We didn't budget in the CIP for this.
And we haven't been saving up for one either. Not at
We
all.
haven't. I mean, my department is severely lacking in.
No, I know.
But I'm talking with Shirley, sounds like there's money available.
Yes, there is, and I can explain that later, but one thing is, Lisa helped me find what the staff had worked on before I started here, and in looking at that, you were not even scheduled to start budgeting for your snow blower until 2029. I mean, I can't even believe
Yeah,
that it was out
that's-
that far, because it's like,
Not good.
so I don't know if you wanna talk about the snow blower and you wanna talk about your,
Well, it
Yeah.
kind of comes in conjunction with the loader.
Yeah.
And the history of this loader is when they bought the snow blower back in 2012. I don't know what was planned with the loader, but it is undersized for our blower, like significantly. I blew the hydraulics out on it once, carrying it, bouncing down the street. Blew the hydraulics on the loader. And that's before I realized how undersized it was. I was kind of new yet. And the city's kind of Band-Aid for that was to put $10,000 caster wheels on our blower so I could just roll it along the street. which is work, but
Mhm.
it's an expensive Band-Aid. The point is, our loader is undersized. It's relatively small. I get that comment a lot, contractors and other cities.
Mhm.
I mean, if a bigger bucket would cut our work in half, we'd be able to handle our snow blower. This loader is something we kick down the can down the road quite a long ways. We're not scheduled to replace it, I think, until 2030, and by that time it'll be 30 years old.
And that's ridiculous. What year is that case?
It's 2000.
Yeah,
I mean, that's something most cities would replace.
It's time to
every
go.
Yeah, I was
5,
long
7,
time.
10 years.
Yeah,
And
that's way over.
So your
to buy a
proposal,
new blower, and this blower's, they're heavier now, these comparable sizes from what we had. This new one we're getting is like 2,000 pounds heavier.
Yeah, there's no way. our
So
loader will
I'm
have it.
concerned about using that bigger blower with our old loader. However, the caveat to that is you can't get a new loader until middle of June, pretty much. So we have
Even
to,
the John Deere can't come till then either. So we can get the blower tomorrow.
yes,
So you're just gonna have to
That's
skid it
the
along
way-
the street to,
we could make it.
yeah, you're gonna have to make it work.
Come this far,
Are
but
there,
I get
there's
it.
no 2022 loaders or anything like that available or anything else?
I inquired on that. They came up with a 19, with 2,700 hours.
Okay,
And then, but you don't get the warranties. And to me, the warranty with that is huge. It's 7-year.
Yeah,
warranty.
7-year, 4,000 hour.
I thought that's.
I mean, that's double the hour of the other
Right.
ones you got. I definitely seen that.
are you planning to do the trade-in? Or were you?
Yeah, I would trade in a loader,
You would
yes.
trade in the water. Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
I thought that was a pretty good price. In talking with one of the salesmen, he thought that this would go on auction for probably 35.
Okay.
I didn't bring that up to the other salesman. Because whatever, but I mean, I was surprised we had that. Last time I asked for trade-in value, it was 28.
So another,
He's giving you 39, right?
Right,
Used stuff is worth more now because you can't get your hands on the new stuff.
Uh,
Back to the blower, I do take it, it's a two-stage, right?
the 2-stage,
2 fans in front and one big one in the center,
right.
just like a snow roll.
Yep, it's got feeders in front, right, yeah, it's comparable, it's so much more streamlined now as far as parts go,
Mhm.
easier to work on.
Okay, well, I'm convinced on that. Money,
okay, my question is, do we need to purchase both the CV since this one isn't, I mean, we need to purchase, but do we need to pay for the loader if we're not bidding it till June, or can we pay for it when we get it? My question
As
is.
far as payments, good question, I'm not entirely sure, I know they don't get the trade in until we
That's right,
swap.
right. So
I'm not
we-
sure about the payment.
Okay,
I wouldn't think
I would think that they give
It's
us some
probably-
lenient and just have us
it's
sign
upon
a
delivery.
purchase
Right.
agreement, and then when they deliver, then we pay. That's how I think that it's happened. In visiting with Lisa today, and she apologized that she couldn't be here to explain this. She said that the 401 fund, which is your CIP fund, has approximately at the year end of 2022, $515,894.35. Of course, that is divided between several different departments. But, and she said it could differ still a little bit because she hasn't figured all the interest that maybe that money has earned, because we're not quite done with year end. Well, she's working on that diligently. And so that's in that fund. Now, so if you use the money in there, certainly through the budgeting process, we would expect that the Public Works would budget more back in there, but we're just looking to see what we could use right now to pay for it. You do have a CD that's coming due in March of 100,000 that could go towards that. And the other thing is that when all the year-end figures are done, there may be more dollars that are left in the general fund, just as we found out with the squad cars, that the city council has the right to transfer those. So you could transfer some of those dollars back into your CIP fund. But I think that through the budgeting process, the city has to get real serious about making sure that the equipment is not going to all break down in the same year.
Definitely.
And now you have your police and your public works somewhat, two big pieces of equipment for each of them. So maybe that would help. So she assured me that she thought we could do that without feeling any pinches anywhere. And you still have some money left in your local bank, both in the savings and the checking that we use on a daily basis that keep coming in. You do have significant investments in your city that you've put aside. And I'm not sure how often that's reported to the city council. I'm hoping that while I'm here that I can go and set up a budget meeting with all of you and go over how to budget and what your funds are set up to do. Like, your 601 is your water and sewer funds. And a lot of cities put more money from the expenditure side rather than in the general fund. They take whatever dollars they can, like some of the public works dollars that they're spending with water and sewer and cleaning the streets. Some of that wage money can come out of that sewer. And those are all healthy funds that you have. So I'm not sure how often this council receives what you have in the bank and what you have in investments. Do you?
Been here a year and I have never seen it.
I've seen it, I know we got it a while back. This was quite a couple of years ago, and I can't remember if I've seen it before or not. I think every once in a while it comes across.
Well, I'm gonna pass this around, and you can kind of look at it. This year, when I'm gonna circle this 100,000, and some of these things that you have, like you have one bond that's coming due next year for 145,000. You're only getting 0.25% interest on that. There is better way here to invest some of these dollars than to tie it all up into that. So I think that as we go on and we meet with the auditors, I think we should have the auditors give us a lesson on what we can do. And some of that, like I said, maybe we could, rather than invest this next one that's coming up, maybe we could put that back into the CIP and keep investing. I'm not saying investment is bad, but this is not the total amount that I have added up here that you have. I'll pass it this way first. So you still have quite a bit in your funds that you can use from your daily,
I
from
think that's what
your bank itself.
I'd agree on that.
So on the yellow slip is what the total, I think you look at.
Because it needs.
But I really believe that the council should be getting this on a quarterly basis. This should not just be something that city staff.
This
has
is
to do.
literally our savings account right here.
Those are your savings accounts and your,
There's the total.
Yeah.
I see this earlier.
so I feel that, this isn't, I didn't come here to try to buy all new equipment, but when Kirby called that day and we're broke down, and we have residents calling even yet today, and they think that we're not doing our job. And I said, we can't do it. We don't have the equipment working. You'll have to try to get someone locally. I don't know if we have anybody locally here with a scoop that would go around and help people get their mailboxes. That's the biggest complaint, is that we have too much snow against mailbox, but it's really difficult, so.
Well, there's just too much snow
Yes,
overall.
there
I mean,
is.
it's one of those years.
We haven't seen a snow year like this in a long time.
Kirby, I have a few more questions.
Yeah.
You said in your email here, your letter, that you'd prefer the John Deere.
I think so, just I've got a relationship almost built up with them already over the years of.
You know that their service is good and all
I
that.
feel comfortable, yeah, and then talking with other people who lease equipment with them and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It
Okay,
just sounds like-
another question is on the Volvo. I see they offer extended warranties. Does the John Deere offer that? The Volvo has a 72-month extended warranty, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
How many hours was it?
2,000.
2,000 hours.
Yeah, so
I mean,
the John Deere was
4,000.
84 months, 4,000
Oh, okay.
hours.
So it's a much better.
Okay, well, you answered my questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
If we're ready, I'll make
And
a
I mean,
motion.
really,
Yeah.
with the load, you guys might get more questions about, okay, find a used and all that stuff.
I think that's not the
No,
way to
we
go.
use- This is
It
not
was
the way to
hard.
go.
Well, I agree with that, but I mean, it's,
Yeah.
even the
You get
price
warranty,
difference,
it's a big factor.
the price difference.
Yeah, I
is maybe
guess, I missed that in there. That trim's pretty big little.
Well, that's the
A
first
loader?
thing I looked at, and also it was,
Yeah.
it was on
Loader
the, in the
itself,
email too, that was.
I know it's gonna be until June we get it.
Yeah.
His,
Can
email, he
the
said.
Contractors that we have, or even this new one that we approved tonight, that Peg, does she have a bigger loader that can, take, if we get this new blower, we'll be able to handle it better than the one that we currently have, the loader,
With me working their equipment or them working our equipment.
whichever you want.
That would be true.
I'd be hesitant to have anybody else use our blower, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they'd be hesitant, you running their loader.
Yeah.
He'll be able to snake it by until we get the new loader.
Right.
I think we will, yeah. I mean, we'll have to.
So you, with the new, if the council approves the blower, you think you're pretty sure you can handle it, that payload will handle it until for the rest of the winter? You make it work?
Guess I got those wheels yet. I think it will, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, will they transfer them from the old one to the new one?
Or you have.
Or you have to?
We would probably have to do
Okay.
that. And just, just to plant that seed, it's not here yet, but I would consider us keeping that blower. If it's fixable, I'm sure it is,
That's backup.
as a backup.
Why
If it's
not?
$20,000 to fix for a backup, which is, it's not a.
And we're not
blower.
gonna get any more than that if you try to sell it.
No.
So in my
they-
opinion
they-
is,
they
yeah,
thought
we
the
keep
traded
it.
value was
Yeah,
maybe
I
30 grand.
would agree.
No, there's one thing I'd like to do. I know your stuff, a lot of your stuff keeps getting kicked around and pushed back. And I really want to have a workshop going through all your equipment so we can come up with a better plan for replacement.
I would love that.
So
Absolutely.
that's what I'd like to do. So before we jump ahead on the payloader side of things, because like I said, I want to make, obviously we want to be responsible too. I mean, we're gonna need it. But if that's something that can hold off till we can get a workshop together and discuss all these things, but it's up, again, it's up to council what you guys want to do.
Well, I say we buy the loader and the blower right now.
I think so too. I think they're well
Yeah.
overdue.
It's way overdue.
And this way, we, because if we kick it too far down the road,
You'll get back further in the line.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so what I was told too, and again, you're dealing with salesmen, but he